You ever see somebody do this when they're driving? They're gripping the steering wheel with a death grip. And they're driving the car, and the car is moving forward, but they will never release their grip. They are anchored to that particular movement. And then you see somebody with the steering wheel, and they're moving their hands, and they're relaxed, and their wrists are relaxed, and they're able to move forward at the same time. They're going to get the same thing done, but it's a totally different feel. Now, people have asked us, well, what's the difference rhythmically between playing two-handed piano, for example, like in a Dixieland band, like a lot of folks do, not everybody, but something that would be acceptable in a lot of traditional jazz bands, and playing stride piano style? Well, it's a difference. Let's take a very familiar pop tune from the 20s, Walter Donaldson's "Yes Sir, That's My Baby," and we'll grip the steering wheel so that we can at least make it into certain types of Dixieland bands and function all right, but not maybe contribute to the basic swing of the group. So here we go. I'm gripping the steering wheel. Okay, now if I were going to play the same phrase, the same 16 bars, in stride style, we're going to float a little bit above and around the beat and produce an entirely different feel with it. And I'm going to relax the hands and the wrists and the arm, and we'll take it from here. Okay, I hope you can see the difference between the two. I've taught students in the past who have been so determined to get everything exactly right that they tense up their hands and the wrists and the forearms, and they create what I call the claw. And so they go down there, and what can they play? Maybe they can get through that, but it sounds belabored, and it sounds difficult, and it sounds very stilted. Now, with any type of music, you can improve the whole feel of your piano playing by just relaxing your hands and wrists and forearms, and going for something that's a little looser around the edges. I'm not saying you should play classic ragtime in a jazz style or in a stride style, but if you see the difference here between the look and the feel of the hands, and I'm sure you've seen players that work with bands that have the approach of gripping the steering wheel, and other players that have the approach of presenting a real loose feel for the group. Now that's going to contribute to the totality of the musical group in one way or another. So you have to think about what's required of the particular group. Some Dixieland bands and traditional jazz bands want you to play something like, for example, while the whole band is playing, they want the piano player to go. The piano player to go. But if you want to create a more swinging feel to it, you want it to loosen up and float a little bit. Okay? That's the difference between gripping the steering wheel and loosening up so that you can get from one place to another in the same amount of time, but creating a different feel for the piano's use in that format.